Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Woolwine, and today we are welcomed by the current CSW Metra Division Champion, Black Sheep.
Yeah,
How are we
yeah.
doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just at home chilling, with my
You
face
know,
paint, like always.
I was just today in preparation for this. I just listened to our last episode, which was actually just shy of a year.
I
So,
was wondering when that
and
was.
you've achieved some great things this year. You've been part of some big storylines. You've done some great stuff, and I can't wait to dive into all of it because you've had a great year.
Yeah, it's been a wild year. It's definitely been something, and this is one hell of a way to end it, I guess. It's
Definitely.
it feels good.
It's funny. I guess a little behind the scenes. After your match with Axel Rico at the last CSW show, I actually went to Axel, and it was the year anniversary of me coming to CSW shows.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was just telling him, like, hey, for one, like Axel invited me to the first one, so I said thank you or whatever. And I was just like, I know it's your opponent, and I know it's somebody you've been rivaling with, but he's earned it. Like he's worked his ass off this year, and
Yeah.
he agreed, whether he wanted to or not. He agreed. You've earned it. You deserve it. So this is my moment to give you your flowers. Congratulations.
Hey man, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I do work very hard, and yeah, I do deserve it because I whipped his ass for it. That's pretty plain. That's all I'll say about that. But I appreciate it a lot. I have put in a lot of work. I've changed myself a lot. I'm sure as you've seen. But
Definitely.
yeah, it's been a
I
hell of a year.
I can see the hard work's paying off. I mean, even down to your look and the way you present yourself. I've seen a big shift in how you present Black Sheep over the last 12 months, which we'll dive into pretty deep and heavy, but it speaks to the dedication that you have for this sport.
Oh man, yeah, without doubt. I mean, the black sheep. The black sheep is never going to be 100. I feel like it's never be 100% out, and not for a while at least. But it's getting there slowly. It's definitely shown a lot more this year. I mean, the black sheep is just an extension of me. It's like it's just somebody that ultimately the most black sheep a black sheep can be is when he's just being himself. So more and more of that comes out in the ring when I'm talking, when I'm wrestling, when I'm fighting. In my promos. It's I'm always growing. I'm getting more comfortable, and I'm always I think that's translated a lot into the ring and into the wrestling world.
Absolutely. But before we dive into this year and all the things that you've been a part of, would you like to shout out your social medias and things like that? Just let the fans know if they don't already know where
Yeah.
they can check out your stuff.
What is my social media? Yeah. Yeah. My on Instagram, it's Black underscore Black Sheep 99, and as a
Right.
BAHBAH. Um, why is it that? Because I think it's funny. I don't know. I've gotten asked that. I didn't think it was a big deal until I had a bunch of people asking me why I did that. I mean,
It,
it's
it reminds me of the nursery rhyme. I believe it's a nursery rhyme, isn't it?
yeah, something like that. I mean, a black sheep. He's serious, but I mean, he also has a he's a comedic guy. He likes to have some fun. He you know takes some shots.
So I think the first thing, I mean, we touched on it already a little bit, is the win of the Metra Division Championship. I want to know, tell us about how you was feeling before, during, and after your crowning moment against Axel Rico.
I mean, beforehand it was just a lot of focus, a lot. There was some nerves, of course. I didn't want to drop the ball, again, but you know, it, my process is it's just kind of focus. I'm always I'm focused up until I'm out past those curtains, or once I'm out in front of that crowd. It's just kind of uh, it's kind of when the black sheep really he really takes over, and he just kind of It's just like in that moment, But I mean, man, hearing I don't know, just as soon as the ref hit three, it was just kind of just like it was a sigh of relief. It was just like did it, finally, and then just seeing the goal there, just seeing with the ref and all that, like I said, I mean, I've seen this title since I've been here. I started training at CSW, and this is definitely a title I've always had an eye on. Especially since we got this new one not too long ago, and I always thought it was gorgeous, and it's something I was working for a long time, man, and it felt really good in the moment holding it. The shit is heavy as hell. I was This is my first championship in independent wrestling, and it takes a little bit to. I was thinking. I mean, shit, prior to the match, I was just thinking. Even now, I'm just thinking it's like because I have yet to make my first entrance with it, so I'm always thinking like, fuck, how's my entrance gonna look like? How am I gonna be holding it? Am I gonna wear it around my waist or over my? Everybody kind of holds it differently, so it's just all these thoughts, and then now kind of paranoid about losing it. I've never had such something so like big and shiny and all this and that. So I've been paranoid a bit, just leaving it around, like just leaving it or having it anywhere. Just I don't want to be the one to get it stolen. Have it stolen
Yeah,
from me. And all that. You know.
I feel you. Something I think, like, if anybody's been listening that has been to a Chicago style wrestling event, you get a certain reaction when you come out, and it's not necessarily positive. But when you won that championship, there was a feeling of, like we said before, like you deserved it or you've earned this, and you got some cheers, which I feel like is rare for Black Sheep to get some cheers. Did that feel good to have the people at least behind you in that moment?
You know what? Whether or not I felt good, it didn't really matter. It matters about one specific person. That's my special woman in my life. The fans, whether they love me or hate me, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, hey, man, look. At the end of the day, I was just concerned about walking out with this. What? Well, I You know, I know I could be a prick in the ring, so I'm never too worried about whether people are gonna love it or hate it. I guess I'm just funny like that. Some people can't help but like it or enjoy it or cheer for it. But for the most part, you know, the black sheep only concentrates on one thing, and that's himself. And his woman and his gold. You know, and he's got a dog somewhere. My dog. Yeah.
Is the dog gonna make an appearance in this episode?
No, no, he's somewhere out and about, doing
He's
something.
he's hiding.
Yeah, yeah, he's out of sight, he's out of sight.
I mean, look, he had two run-ins in the last episode. I was expecting it.
Yeah, you know what? I was in a different place, it was like a year ago, so yeah, I was in like, I don't remember where I was living at the time, but I was in a
Okay.
different place, so it was a little bit more open, and this place actually has like a individual, and we're in like, I make all my own gear and stuff like that, so this is where it happens and all that. You can see there's like a press behind me and there's
It's the
material.
laboratory.
Yeah, this is where all that stuff kinda just happens.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want to dive a little bit more into your feud with Axel because it's made like I've watched it for the most part this year, back and forth, literally since the beginning of the year. Um, what's been your favorite interaction between yourself and him throughout this year?
Man, it would have to be the moment when I beat his ass for this belt. That without a doubt. I mean, it was just because we have gone at it for a long time, and Axel, he's a very formidable opponent. I will give him that. He has a victory over me, unfortunately. Only one-on-one. That's it. So we're tied. Um, and I beat him fair and square. I'm pretty sure. Um, but it's beating him for this title. I mean, there wasn't a moment like that, but I love beating his ass. Though. I love beating everybody's ass. But I mean, the the thing I've been most excited for is really establishing um the black sheep more in this feud. And I think it's you're gonna see more just the black sheep get a little, just get bolder and bolder at CSW, you know. So I think that's probably been one of my favorite parts, just kind of expanding, you know, because you know, I'm not letting off the gas anytime soon. You know, and you know, Axel, he's a former champion. He's one of the pillars of CSW. But fuck that. I'm a bulldozer, and I'll put it all on my back. I'll mow through every goddamn buddy. You know, but I mean, and I think this is just kind of the beginning of something like that. You know, it's just gonna get more intense from here.
I think, like, as a fan or consumer, my favorite moment, other than the win, would have to be the Rumble in May, I believe it was, where you guys went all the way, which is crazy, and I think it was a really cool moment, and I think that's whenever I realized that the two of you would be intertwined, kind of like a Batman and Joker scenario for who knows how long, because that's usually what like those scenarios mean. So that was whenever it really I think piqued my interest, and I was like, okay, I want to know what happens next. And it's something I talked about with Axel when I had Axel back on here. Is just how um, I feel like that Rumble was a pivotal moment for both of you.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I don't even know how I forgot about that. But yeah, that run was last year, man. Just I remember the day of. I mean, it's just like I just remember being in there, and I just remember being in like you know, like you said, we were the like we first two, the last two. Yeah, no, you're right. You know, it was a moment for the both of us. I mean, we made it all the way through. You know, and you know, we're destined to fight. You know, I think that's for sure. You know, and I'm sure you're gonna see more of me and Axel in the future. You know, but we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that rumble. I mean, being in there the entire time. You know, that's another thing about the black sheep. His cardio has got it much better. Because I mean, that match was like 40 minutes or some shit like that, and just I mean, for the both of us to still be in there at the end of the day after all the opponents that were in there, I got to eliminate Uncle T, his big ass, you know, threw his big ass right over the top rope, you know, and I was this close to winning, you know, and but you know what? Without that moment, this wouldn't be here now. You know, our history wouldn't be what it was, and it wouldn't have led up to me taking this from him.
You mentioned your cardio, and that leads me into another question I have. You know, over this last year, I've really noticed progress in your physique. Has that been something you've focused on, or is it something that's just kind of happened naturally?
A little bit of both. It's happened naturally. It's also been economical. Um, so like I recently I've started wrestling and training with luchadors at Gali Lucha Libre, and
Huh.
they're fucking insane. Their training is insane. It's intense. It's a lot. And it's incredible. It's just a bunch of Mexicans that look like taco vendors doing some incredible flips, and well, it really is. It's they do stuff I can't even do. It's incredible, like balancing on the neck and just it's incredible stuff. So that has really helped me a lot in the ring. My cardio. I don't, you know, I could do a match and I could go to the back and I'm not tired. You know, I could still, you know, it makes a huge difference. You know, and I'm sorry, I lost. What was the question again?
Just has the change in your physique been something that you
Oh yeah.
focused on or happened naturally?
Yeah, no, so I definitely I've been working in the gym and then I you know I do stuff at home. Also, you know, it's 2020 it's 2025. Uh things are expensive. So I don't you know, and I'm broke, so that helps with the diet, you know. Helps
Agreed. Agreed.
like I said, I'm on an economical diet. That
I
helps.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand. You've met me in person. There's a reason I'm only 120 pounds. But coming up this Friday as we record this is CSW and Cold Blood. What are your thoughts and feelings about your first defense, not being against one person, not against two, not three, but four other individuals in a scramble match?
I love it, dude. I love it actually. I don't know nobody's is expecting that type of attitude, but for me, like I said, like I'm here to make this title great, and for me, I'm not saying that I'm more than happy to give out some opportunities, and I'm not doing that, out of I'm doing that out of the kindness of my heart, because I know what it means to look at this title and look who's holding it and dream of holding it and being at the top of that mountain. And I would love nothing more than to crush those dreams and watch them die and be responsible for it. So it's like I said, like it don't matter if it's 1 or 10 or 100, you know, I know what the end result's gonna be. I'm gonna walk out with this, and it's gonna be 5 dreams that it's gonna be 5 men that feel like they failed that night because they will. And, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I'll defend this, and I'll keep my foot on this entire division's throat. Like I said, I'm only here. This is only get more intense. It's only gonna get harder from here. There's only I still got plenty more gas in the tank. So as far as cruelty, as far as intensity, as far as aggression, that shit's not going anywhere. If anything, it's getting turned up. So whether it's for the entire division, anybody's welcome for an opportunity. I don't make decisions about who's earned it. I don't really give a shit about who's earned it. If you're willing to try to take it, I could respect that just as much. But you know, I will be there with my foot on your throat because I'm not letting that up. I stand over everybody else. And I can't wait to
You
make
know,
that Friday.
definitely. I mean, I was just thinking about the fact that last time we did this was right after the December show for CSW, and it was yourself and Chris Miller against Jack and
Yeah,
Eddie,
yeah, Jack and Eddie, those little
and
Make-A-Wish
then,
Foundation kids.
and now looking at it, you're walking in this December with the Metra Division Championship. Um, how do you feel about your personal progress throughout 2025?
Man, I'm so happy and I'm so proud of it, but like I said, I want more. I want to make this belt. I want to do so much in this division. I really want to make it. I really want to put this division on top of CSW. So as far as the progress going, I'm happy. I'm good with what is come up to, but I'm definitely still looking to keep that progress going. And just keep upgrading. Obviously, the look of the Black Sheep's changed also. This CSW show was the first time at CSW I wore tights. And that's only gonna keep happening. Maybe not for this coming up show, but that's because it's a little special. It'll be fun. What I wear.
Just speaking of Chris Miller, I feel like that's in a chapter that hasn't been closed yet. There seemed like there was been obviously y'all tagged together a lot, but there was tension there. Do you see us ever getting any closure between the two of you, or is Chris in your past?
Right now, Chris Miller's in the past. If he gets his shit together, and like you said, the Black Sheep has done nothing but improve and level up the entire year. Chris Miller's got to get on the same page. You know, and Chris Miller's fat ass. I mean, he. I finally ditched him. He's no longer hitched to the back of my trailer, but if he steps up and if he's able to improve himself the same way that I have and so many others have, and make a move on this, then I'm more than happy to whip his ass too. It's a long time coming, goddamn, and he's cost me so many matches. I mean, you can look back at CSW history. Every match I tag with him, he loses, he loses, he loses. He loses. One time I tagged with him, he didn't lose. That was when I got pinned by the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but they cheated the thumbtack, you
Fair
know,
enough.
So Miller's gotta step it up.
I feel like if we're looking at the landscape of CSW, um, it's a completely different field than it was last year. A lot of that has to do with the likes of the Made Men running rough shot, and then there's been a lot of you guys, yourself, Jack and Eddie, Lily stepping up to the plate, and kind of it feels like there's a new wave or a new generation of CSW. Is that something that you guys have felt in the locker room as well?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it every I mean, as much as as much as I hate the Make-A-Wish Foundation, we all came up. We all coming up together, and it's we've all been growing together. We've all been getting better together, and there's definitely been a big crop. There's been a recent group that has really been starting to shine through. Whether it's Quintero, the Make-A-Wish Boys, me, Hans Carden, very respectable wrestler. It's just it's getting hot at CSW, and I think when I remember, I remember my first time I ever went to a CSW show was in it was like in maybe 2020, and you could tell that there was a change coming, but I think now more than ever you could tell maybe not a change, but there's definitely been a change of guard, and it's definitely starting to turn up, you know and we're starting to see some of these fossils like Steve Boz, up and kick the rock, up and kick rocks, that greasy freaking rock.
That leads me to my next question. Honestly, last time we spoke, you just told us how honestly, like how big a part of your career Steve's been as far as helping train you, behind the scenes and things like that. And this Friday, he takes on Missa Kate in a retirement match. What will your reaction be if Steve's the one who's forced to retire?
Well, if he's forced to retire, I don't know. I mean, it's a wrestling business, so retire is a strong word to use.
Of course.
And it's Steve Boz versus Mr. K, and Steve Boz is Italian, so I'm assuming some stereotypes will shine through there. Uh, he gets to put his hands on a woman, and it'll be legal. So I'm sure he's excited about that. But yeah, I mean, as far as retirement, I mean, we'll see. Steve Boz still got some bills to pay, and it's definitely towards this new generation. He ain't going out without at least one Black Sheep match at CSW. I can promise you that. Even it don't matter if it takes some time down the road. Like retire is a strong word.
Okay.
That old man still got to pay. That old man got some debts to pay, and Black Sheep's one of them.
So what I'm hearing is even if he does retire, it's probably going to be a Terry Funk retirement.
I won't speak for the old man, but if there's anybody as carny as a Terry Funk, then Boz is up there with him.
Okay. Okay. I want to talk gear because as you mentioned, you make all your own gear. You've been cooking this year in the gear department, as the kids might say. Um, you've two that's really like sparked my interest. One is in the background there, the Macho Man style attire that got me. And then I really like the Superman version of
Ah,
your attire. That was really good. What goes into your gear making process, and what's your favorite attire?
oh man, I got my favorite one. It has been seen, but not at CSW yet, and it will be seen in January. I can promise you that. Um, man, the gears. I mean, I love the gears, but I think I have the most fun with the belts. The belts,
Okay.
yeah,
The
the belts.
weightlifting belts?
Yeah, the weightlifting belts.
Okay.
Uh, I think the belts is where it has shined through the most. I think it's what I've impressed myself on because I've made the belts and I still have my original belt that I made. my two original belts that I've ever made, and then I kind of say like they've kind of gone in phases. So I've had my phase one belts, and then I've had my phase two belts, which was like a lot of my more colorful ones, my green, my pink, and all that. And with the gear, it's just you know a lot of those gears I made them, and it's the Black Sheep was constantly evolving, so I made them and I was happy with them, but especially now with tights, the tights I have been making, it's I've just gotten better at it. Like as much as I've improved in the ring, my just my just my skill level, not even skill, but just like my idea of my gears have just gotten better. It's just whether it's me just slowing down and like just waiting for a good idea, or I've definitely taken the approach of more uniform looks and stuff like that, and then less is more aspect, because with some of my gears it's just kind of just stuff on there. So especially with the white gear I wear, that was probably like the first of like I guess I would say phase three gears, because it was like it's uniform, and like my other gears, I know I had one side colored and one side black, just blacked out, but it's just more uniform, and it's just kind of what it's gonna turn into. It's just kind of less is more, following a pattern, or making just a little bit more uniform and all that. But I like what goes into it, you know, the my white and black gear, it was literally just me taking triangles and just playing around, and and I made a shape with them, or a pattern with them, and I liked it, and that's just kind of how it go. That's kind of how I've been trying to do it now, just working with shapes and making cool things. There's certain colors I like pink. I'm a big fan of. Um, yeah, I'm sure you've seen some of my pink gear, but
Yeah.
I like flowers. I like flower designs a lot, so pink is always something. I always have something with flowers on a pink gear. That's always gonna be a thing. Blue is always gonna be a gear because blue is my favorite color, and when you see the new gear I have planned out for January is blue, and I'm very excited to show that one off. It's probably I think it's probably one of my best gears, and one of my theories behind gears actually is I don't like to do too many inspired gears. I only keep a few. Obviously, the Macho Man I've done. I have an Eddie Guerrero gear I haven't worn yet. And then obviously the Superman gear. I'll make exceptions for certain things if I'm really passionate about it, because I don't like to make inspired gears just because you know people inspire gears off of Shawn Michaels or The Rock and this and that, but they never inspired their gears off of anybody. They just had their own original gears. So I kind of just like that's kind of my mindset to it. I'd rather have my own original designs in gear and stuff like that than inspired ones. But I fucking love Superman. I love Superman so much. He's my favorite superhero. I love DC. So making that gear, it was just kind of a no-brainer for me. You know, it, it'd be Superman and it'd be Batman. It'd probably be the only two superhero inspired gears that I would wear in the ring. I told my wife this. It's like I just like making gear, and I told her like I would probably just make an entire Justice League gear and never wear most of it, you know, just because I just like making gear and I like the way it looks. So the Superman one I really like. I love the Superman one. I felt like it comes together so good. I considered getting some red trunks too, but I'm still thinking on that to
Okay.
put on the blue for the Superman. But I'm still thinking on that. I gotta see.
My question is, I mean, like obviously when the gear comes, the accessories come with it. How do you choose a cowboy hat or the mask?
So you know, when I did like a whole new batch of gears, like my phase two gears, I kind of had in my head that I wanted to have a different set of entrance attire for
Okay.
every single gear. and that's not the case anymore. Um, so I got rid of like have come out with a sugar skull mask and like a big headpiece I was a big fan of. But I got rid of a lot of stuff like that. At this point, it's strictly only going to be either the cowboy hat. It's mainly the cowboy hat more than anything like that. The gold mask. I tried to sell it. I didn't sell it, but I would sell it. I would sell it, but but it looks cool, and I knew at CSW I was doing the whole sheep of death thing, so I knew it would go perfectly with that. It was the better option. But it's most likely just gonna turn into the cowboy hat. I'm not a cowboy. I just think I look incredibly sexy in a cowboy hat. So
Okay.
that's the thing.
Understood. Understood. I don't really have a comment on that, but what something I am interested in, other than how you look in a hat, is last time we did the podcast, you mentioned Galley Lucha a lot.
Yeah.
And me, in my infancy of doing podcasting, didn't even think to dive deeper into it. So, just what has been your experience working with those guys at Galley, and how do you think it's helped shape you and mold you as a performer?
Oh man, it's helped immensely. Like I said, with cardio. Uh, Cardio is a big thing in this business, and you get it tired so fast in that ring. You're doing things you don't even realize doing. For some, talking in the ring, like I'm not talking about talking to an opponent. I'm talking about talking shit to fans, or yelling out loud. Is exhausting, and it takes your breath, and it tires you out. Even just talking to fans and stuff like that in the middle of a match. So I kind of noticed it, because every time I used to have a match, I'd come back heaving and hoeing, just dry heaving, and then I just kind of noticed slowly that I'd do a match, and then I come back, and then I wouldn't be tired. I wouldn't be tired, and that's a nice feeling. And I just kind of noticed that, and it just I've had better control of my body, just being more agile, feel lighter on my feet. They helped me immensely with that. Actually doing the shows, I mean, it's taught me a lot. It's helped me as far as basing, um, catching humans as they fall out of the sky has been something that has helped me a lot with, which isn't the funnest thing in the world. Um, but even if somebody's skinny, you think it'd be easy up until you get hit with a knee or something, and it's not fun. But it's helped me. It's helped me grow a lot. It's athletically, and I've been able to incorporate certain things from lucha into my style. The Not everything, but certain things that I feel suit the black sheep. Certain things that if I feel like it's something the black sheep would do, is something, then it's something I incorporate. And there's certain things in lucha that I've incorporated. Obviously, doing more athletic moves or more stuff off the ropes, or just cool, some of these cooler moves and all that. I love Galley. I mean, it's afforded me an opportunity to have uh, to wrestle like multiple times a month, because they run multiple times. And then I've also had the pleasure of experience some incredible Mexican talent, luchadors like Psycho Clown. I got to see Mr. Iguana, who was really awesome. Mecha Wolf has been there countless of times. We've had CMLL superstars come in. Hachichero's been at a show. We recently had a show with Bandito and at a show, and that was awesome. Axel was in that match too, and it's like it's been a pleasure, honestly. Just it's taught me a lot. I've gotten to see a lot of cool shit as far as matches goes. Just yeah, man, I love Galley.
You speaking of Axel, I feel like we can't get away from him, but he's current champion over there.
Yeah, he's the
Do you
winner.
feel like taking that gold too?
I feel like taking all the gold, and any gold I could take, I'll take. If I could take it, I'll take it. By hook or by crook, you know, I'll be there. I'll snatch what I can.
Definitely.
You should check your wallet right now and make sure I didn't take it. I
I don't
will
keep cash in there. For that reason. Um, something like another guest I've had on the podcast very early on. I need to get him back on, but is Maurice, who you tag with a lot at Galley. Just lost his hair last night, actually, as we record this.
Uh,
Um, what's your experience working like with him? And is that something we could see? Maybe you guys going after tag titles or something like that?
well, we've had a couple. We've gone for the titles. I think twice at Galley before. No, I love working with Maurice. We've had some fun matches together. We like I said, we've gone after the titles together, and we've had some great matches, some fun matches with the champions, Mahiko and Septico there. You know,
Good
um,
kids.
yeah, yeah, they're good guys, and no, I love working with Maurice, and he's bald now, so obviously that's the issue. That's what we're gonna have to address. But
Yeah, they give him a wig or a mask or something.
yeah, you gotta do something hideous. Um, but yeah, no, we're the devil's fashion, obviously, and but he'll make it look good somehow, some way. Yeah.
Definitely. If we're just looking at your career as a whole, what match or moment are you most proud of, other than winning the Metro Division Championship?
Man, I think moment would probably it wouldn't be a specific moment. I think the moment would be kind of the year. I think I've had a lot of matches I've been very proud of this year, and I think that's kind of been the coolest thing, just kind of actually looking at some of my body at work and being like, that's pretty fucking good. Like, you know, matches with certain guys and just being able to go out there and just have a blast and put on some good shit. And I think that's probably been my favorite part this year. It's just been a lot of memorable matches where I could, I've had whether it's been at Cali, I've wrestled Hans, Quintero. We always have me and him always have a great match. I got to wrestle one half of the Make a Wish Foundation, Jack Valor, up in Indiana, and that was a blast. Like it's just kind of been a lot of. I feel like I've really had a lot of matches this year where I've really like they're matches I could really be proud of, you know? They're matches I would like to run back. Like, I would like to run back, me and Lizard Man at some point. We had an incredible match, you know? And it's funny because at the beginning of both of our careers, we had a one-on-one match, and it was god awful. And, later on down the road, we got to redo it, and it's still up there with one of my favorite matches. It was like maybe 2024 or something like that. It's still up there with one of my favorite matches. I love the match. I love that match. I beat his ass as suspected, but I think that's just been the my favorite part. It's just seeing it's feeling the growth. Everybody's talking about seeing it, and it feels good feeling it, feeling different, feeling something changing. You know.
Last year when we spoke, or I should say maybe the beginning of this year when we spoke, you just talked about wanting to get out more, and find wrestle in new places, maybe get out of the Midwest. Just where, if you haven't got to work there, where are some of the places you'd like to work at?
Yeah. I still want to go to Florida. I still want to go out of state.
Okay.
New York, Texas, or anywhere. At some point, anywhere. Uh, Out of country, that'd be awesome. Canada's not too far. You know, even in the state, Illinois, there's still shows. I'm still working hard trying to get on AAW, some of these bigger shows. Dreamway would be a pleasure to work on. You know, I would love to be on freelance, but that's a journey. You know, I think there's a lot of you know, I think a freelance CSW thing would be a lot of fun. But it's just I've been lucky to build some relations and get to know new people and just just get certain things rolling. I'm still looking to get out of state and all that stuff. Well, I mean, I've been out of state, but more out of state, different coast or different, some place like that.
Okay. Spread your wings a little bit more further out.
Always, always, always.
Okay. As far as like A lot of guys in in this industry, I should say, have a list of dream matches. Do you have any dream match scenarios, dead or alive, that you fantasize about?
Ah, man. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame that a match with John Cena would never be possible. You know,
Unfortunately.
yeah, obviously that's probably one of them. It's a little controversial, but I've always wanted to do something with Vince McMahon. I thought that would have been a blast, but
Okay.
he's. I mean, I
Okay.
mean, I mean, I know it's controversial, but for years, I mean, just yeah, Vince McMahon on TV and all that stuff. I mean, it was the biggest bad ever. I
Definitely.
thought it'd be awesome, so much fun to do something with him. But I mean, honestly, I just really wanna. I mean, the independent scene in general is just kind of it's not what it used to be. I mean, I haven't been on it for too long, but I think everybody knows the independents aren't what they used to be, and I think there's opportunity just to kind of help that grow. And I think that stuff like that's going to come with time. So like I'm kind of more excited just to kind of help be a part of the future. And just it's like I said, like well, with this Metro Championship, I don't want it. Like I want to face people who are hungry for it. I don't care about. I mean, yeah, it would be a pleasure to wrestle somebody, a name like Ali or you know um, Elijah, who's coming, or Dolph Ziggler, But I think there's just so much. eh, Obviously, it adds value to your name facing names like that, but I just think that there's so much promise in the future, of what's coming up now, especially at CSW. I wanna build future on the independence with I wanna be a part of building that future, with some of these guys. So like there's a dude out I think he's in Ohio. His name's Duke Davis, a big motherfucker. And he
Dude, I've talked to Duke before. He's a bad motherfucker.
yeah, he's enormous. And it's funny, I kind of have a little bit of a connection with him because in college I was roommates with his cousin. You know,
Ooh,
I
nice.
didn't know that, but I just remember his cousin telling me all the time, "Oh, my cousin's a wrestler, my cousin's a wrestler." And then I got into it, and I searched him up, and yeah, he's a wrestler for goddamn sure. So someone like him or just people all around, like even people in state, some of the freelance guys I would love to face, some of our own guys I'd love to face. I would love to be at CSW with Lizard Man, or even some of the girls. I'd like to wrestle, like Amina Bauma or Haven Harris. Really, I'm a feminist. I'm a believer in an equal opportunity ass whipping. I'll
Okay.
hit them just as hard. I don't
Wrestling's the place for it too.
I'll hit women or children, I'll hit them just as hard. I'm not prejudiced about it. I have no issue.
Have you okay, I know last time we talked, uh, you, you'd hit a child with a chair.
I haven't
Have you
hit any
smacked no kids with chairs in 2025?
I'm more than willing to. I have no I'll get my full 8 hours of sleep off of it. I'm not no stress. No sweat off my back.
Maybe I'll drag my little brother, Nasty Nate, down there to CSW this Friday. Maybe you can whack him with a chair for the fun of it.
Hey, you know what? If he needs a lesson learned, I'm
Oh, he needs a lesson.
I had little brothers too, and I got no problem dishing out an ass whip.
Okay, okay, I'll let him know. I'll let him know that he's got one coming. Uh, I just, I asked this at the end of the last episode. I feel it's fitting to ask it in this one. Looking into 2026 as the current Metra Division champion, what are your goals?
My goals is just be the baddest, most entertaining thing on CSW. I just yeah, I can't. I think like I said, the Black Sheep's just gonna get more and more obnoxious and more annoying. He's gonna get more in there, and I haven't been given that much time to speak on the mic at CSW, but I know the moment I do that, I'm gonna make it count. I love to talk and I love to entertain, and I think that's definitely something that's gonna be happening. in 2026, you know, I'm going all in. I'm not hesitating one bit. I'm gonna make this division mine, and I'm really gonna, the people are gonna recognize, and whatever happens in 2026, whatever it happens. But I'm just always looking forward to keep the growth going, and just getting better and better and better. That's always, and just always being creative. I love being creative, making more gears, spending more money on gears and stuff like that. Just improving myself, improving my body. It's just I'm in it for I'm in it for the ride, and I'm not easing up, you know.
I like it. Black Sheep, I want to say, thank you for joining me for part two. Thank you for a wonderful 2025. As a consumer, it's been great to watch your progress. And like I said at the beginning of the show, you've earned it.
Thank
As the current Metra Division champion, you should be proud of yourself. So, congratulations. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to share your story and a little bit more of your story this time.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the talk.
Of course. And this will come out after Friday, but I can't wait to see what happens this Friday. CSW in cold blood. All those that are watching this, go check out whatever highlights are on social media, and check out Black Sheep. So retain of the CSW Metra Division Championship.
You will, yes, you will. This ain't going anywhere. And I'm at least getting it. I'm gonna hold on to this as tight as I can. Uh,
With sorry, go ahead, continue.
Go ahead, ask what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say, with that said, we'll see this. I was gonna leave it at see you next time, and hopefully with that Metro Division title
Hopefully, or the CSW World Championship. You never know.
or both double champ. I don't think we've seen a double champ. Have you?
I wouldn't know.
Okay,
That's one of the Make a Wish foundations. They grew up. They grew up around this.
I'll have to get them back on here to ask. But if not, let's see Black Sheep be the first one.
Absolutely, I agree with that.